Looks like we're live, and we're back. How's everybody doing? This is Joe and Keisha. And every time that lets me know that Keisha is actually live. So I want to go back. Yeah, let me turn my sound all the way down so we don't have feedback.
Yes.
And I'll be able to see any comments so we can see everything live.
Yeah.
But it's Sunday, and it's another series. What is it? The series Meeting the Bunbury's. And guys, we got something really, really good for you because this is the do-over. Don't be a statistic. But before we get started, I want Keisha to tell this story that she told me earlier. Was that yesterday or this morning?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday. It was really inspiring. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So I'm just going to turn it over to her and she can tell you what happened.
Yeah, so I went to the grocery store, neighborhood grocery store, and I got my stuff, about 5-6 items, and I make my way to checkout. I get in line behind this young man, and there's a young lady that is checking us. Evidently, I immediately understood with the banter between the two of them, they knew each other previously. They went to school together. So, he's asking about her life. Well, where are your man at? It was her birthday. And he asks, where's your man? Do you have one? Came out, no, she didn't. How many kids you got? She had a couple. They're both grown because she's 40 plus. And he asked, would she be willing to have one more? Possibly. Was it possible? And she was like, well, no. And she was like, well, it's possible. So that meant, she probably had her tubes tied or whatever. But in watching their interaction and listening to the questions the young man had, it was very refreshing because quite often you don't see the courting part of the relationship. He was intentional with his questions. Mm-hmm. He asked things that were relevant, that were important to him, whether or not he even pursued it any further to get a number, to say, well, I'll be back here, what time you get off. None of that was done. But that's my grandson. He's sitting there watching his tail.
Also, don't forget, he asked, or he talked about what a man could
Yeah,
bring.
she said, no, I don't have one of them. I don't want one right now. He was like, why? She's like, it's just too much trouble was her answer to that. But he was like, no, a man should not add trouble. That man could be out there on that barbecue. These are things he said, with some chicken and some steaks, sitting back in the backyard. He wanted to bring the good things that having a significant other could to bring to her life, to make her think. So and we had so much time, y'all, because we were waiting on the price check from the meat department. But we all chatted. I must have stayed out the way until they were like, looking for a different view or whatever. But it was very refreshing because there are men out here. Because last week we talked about where the men at.
Right.
They are out here. They are, and the ones that want a wife or are seeking a good thing like that, they know what to do. They've gotten some knowledge from somewhere. These are the questions I need answered because I want to know what type of woman this is before I pursue it any further.
Exactly.
And the end of the conversation, basically once he checked out, was, okay, it was good talking to you. I'll be seeing you again, which leaves the door open for him to come back and shop, get in her line, and find out some more things. Because like I said, they were classmates. So it was really refreshing. And it has relevance. All of us that have done this thing a time or two.
Yeah. Or three.
Yeah. Being it, you don't, you got this do-over, but you don't want to be a statistic. And why is that, babe?
Well, we went and did a little research, and back in 2013, this is a little old, but it's still relevant. 40% of new marriages include at least one partner who has been married before. 50% of first marriages fail. 67% of second marriages fail. I was shocked. I thought that it would go down because, maybe you had a bad marriage or you were inexperienced, and the second time around you'll work at it harder or you'll be better at it. But it seems that the marriages fail more. And then 74% of third marriages fail.
Wow.
Wow. Because that stuck out to me because this is my third marriage.
And this is my second.
You know. But we're going to defy that statistic. We're not going to fail.
Statistic.
You know. And here's another one. The U.S. has the 6th highest divorce rate in the world. Now that's amazing, and it sucks at the same time.
Right. I also saw another fact that I didn't list, but you know, the mean time after a person divorces in their first marriage, the mean time before remarrying is 3.7 years. But the average for that marriage to last is only 6 years. And it seems like that 8-year mark is what you strive for. The average length of a marriage that ends in divorce is 8 years. So you want to get over that 8 years. We got a ways to go, babe, but I'm in it. I'm in it.
Yeah, I'm in it to win it.
Yes.
We're going to do 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8.
Plus.
As long as I can stay alive.
We got some tips on how to not be a statistic.
Yeah.
And basically, these are marriage builders and marriage breakers. And a marriage builder are actions or attitudes incorporated into your day-to-day lives that foster a loving and caring relationship. And the breakers?
And the breakers are behaviors and traits that make it close to impossible for a marriage to survive. So think about that.
Yeah.
Those separate these things separate long-lasting marriages from short-lived marriages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's something to consider when you're considering marriage and you're asking those questions. You know, that's why we talked about making sure you define the roles
Mm-hmm.
and who's going to do what, how you're going to do things together or separate. Because these kinds of things, those little things, because we talked about that. You know, it's the little bitty things. You know, like, oh, she leaves hair in the sink, or he don't flush the toilet, or let us see. All of these little things, they don't mean a whole lot, but I find that what some people do is they let it build up, and then when something big happens, it boom, and then you get blasted with something, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I term it verbal diarrhea. You get verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
But you really need to, when going into this, drop your old habits and beliefs and learn new ways to communicate. Communication is number one, right?
Yes.
Communication is a builder.
Yes, it is.
And there are certain things that are definite breakers. And Dave, can you talk about those?
Now, some of these things, hold on. Escalation. Now, I've experienced this. You know, but escalation is where, like I just said, you got one little thing, and then you let it build, and then you keep until it's a big thing. And you've taken something that was small and escalated into this big thing. Like I say, make a mountain out of a molehill. That's one of the best ways. Criticism. Now, there's always healthy criticism. But one thing I can say is, don't criticize your spouse in public.
Yeah.
And I can speak on this is because I was guilty of doing this in my second marriage. And that was one of the leading things that helped, that broke that marriage up, you know. And I thought it was right because I was right. But sometimes you can be so right you'll be wrong.
Right. And can I say something, Dave? This criticism also is, you can't be a nitpicker. Just continue to pick at everything your partner does.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the preliminary things that you take care of in the courting phase is, what type of person are you? Are you a lounger? Are you a relaxed person?
Mm-hmm.
And the other person is a go-get-it all the time, they're all the time live? You're going to have friction.
Yeah.
And then if that person starts to criticize that lounger, that more laid-back person, it can get ugly.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Yeah.
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 Like, why you always gotta do stuff all the time?
Right.
Why
Can
don't
you sit
chill?
down somewhere? Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you hear that before?
Anyway, back to the list.
What's this word?
Deflection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm slow, but I'm thorough, guys. Deflection, that's definitely not deflection. That's where, what he said. You know, deflection is when you don't take You're not accountable. Accountability. That's right. Right.
Yeah.
You're not accountable. Accountability is so important. We heard that today in the message at church, but it definitely goes with marriage. You know, don't deflect and say, "Oh, it's him. It ain't me."
Right. Yeah.
It's her. It ain't me.
Yeah. Or there's an issue. He brings it to you. But then you want to say, well, I don't like this that you did.
Right.
You didn't start this conversation.
Right.
So in order to have that give and take and the dialogue, let's fix one thing.
Right.
And then we can say, well, by the way, babe, this bothers me too.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
you know, that escalation too, I wanted to just back up a little bit. If I say, babe, you forgot to flush the toilet. Well, all you have to do, you know,
Right.
all you have to do is flush it.
Yeah.
Escalate with 0 to 100, and you're looking for an argument. Those are not effective ways to communicate.
And you shouldn't want to argue with your spouse.
That's right.
You know, I mean, we have disagreements, and sometimes it gets a little energetic. However, we try to be fair. We try to see each other's viewpoints. A lot of times I found that even though I believe what I believe, after I listened to her, I had to change my position. And I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, it's, you know, these people always talk about it's 50-50. No, the goal is not 50-50. The goal is 100. As long as we get to 100 at the end of the day, then I'm good with that. And I know she is too.
And sometimes I'm the 10 and he's the 9.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's the 10 and I'm the 9.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, we are 100.
Exactly. Now, the last thing is dismissal. And that one, don't dismiss your spouse's feelings. Don't dismiss their thoughts. And here comes my grandson. Don't dismiss your grandson walking across in front of the screen. You know, yes. You want to come over here and sit between us?
You want to
come
come
and sit here?
Yeah, you know, with that dismissal, I can't dismiss your feelings. You feel what you feel.
Exactly.
And you think what you think.
Yeah, we had a situation just a couple of days ago, and I got angry. And she was like, "Why are you angry?" And I said, "I can't be angry." And of course I can be angry. Yes. But she was more concerned was I angry with her? No, it wasn't that, but I was angry. And it's okay to have your feelings.
Yourself, huh?
You see, God? You know, it's okay to have your feelings. It's okay to express them. Of course, there's a way. And don't dismiss your spouse. And they're just too sensitive. I had that situation in my second marriage where my ex-wife, I'm expressing myself. And because she was a harsher, harder person than I was, she dismissed my feelings. You're just too sensitive. You need to toughen up. Well, my sensitivity is part of who I am. And that's actually what makes my wife love me the way she loves me.
Yes, I appreciate that.
She appreciates it instead of dismissing.
Just like you said, communication is a builder and it's key. When things do get heated, if you have any of these, and your conversation has flared hot, walk away.
Yeah.
Regroup. Collect yourself. Calm down. Because you can say things in anger that you can't take back.
That's right. You never can take it back.
Yeah. So
and words have power.
Yeah. So if you're looking to be married and you are courting and you ask these questions, these good questions, and you find out that person, yeah, you want to know more, and you get down into it. You saw those stats. Remarriage is not statistically great, but you can make it great by using these builders and avoiding these breakers and communicating. Right. Anything else to add, Rick?
No, I just want to thank. Look like we got Valerie's watching. Hey, Valerie, appreciate you coming on live. Look like we got about 4 other people. I cannot see who you are.
Right.
So we got some mystery folks, and that's okay.
But we love you too, and thank you for coming. And please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, this is a series on our YouTube channel, Bountiful Harvest with Joe and Kesey. The name of the series, Kesey. I said Kesey. That's that new. No, that's not it. Kesey.
That's when I put on the weed.
Yeah, she got this special wig from.
Kesey.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's when we have games. But Joe and Keisha, the name of the playlist is Meeting the Bumbers. And remember, guys, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, when we get to 100, we're going to be giving away this book, 1,001 Questions You Should Ask Before You Get Married. Now, we actually have 2 copies. We were just talking about that. We might give away the other one as well, but we got to get to that 100.
We got to get there, y'all. And we got prizes for our 500 goal and the 1,000. So please like, subscribe, share, comment. Feel free. Oh, you want to move, baby?
We just love
but
being
anyway,
here.
he's part of the show today. So we thank you for watching. Can't wait for the next episode. And babe, you know how you close.
Yeah, remember about making a change, guys. Everybody can change, but there are 3 components to change, as my grandson is blocking my view. The 3 components to change are, first, you make a decision. The second is you make a commitment. The third is you get a grandson. No, the third is you become consistent. Because if you're consistent to your commitment, to your decision, you will change.
Yes.
And make sure you have a better trained grandson than we got right
and
here.
be flexible.
Yeah,
This
be
can happen
flexible.
at any time.
All right, we love you. Remember, we'll be back again at 7 o'clock
Tell them
on
bye.
Sunday. Say bye, Kai.
Bye.
Say bye. You can't.
You gonna tell them bye? You
Come
gonna
back.
wave?
Come on and wave again.
Bye.
Whoa, watch out.
Whoa. Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Say later. Thanks for watching.